Hey everybody, JK here. Today I've got 3 updates for you, so let's get to it. First, look what I've got.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the mailbag.
Yes, Skeb's old mailbags have been found. My lovely wife dug them out of storage, and she is now in the process of converting them from flash files into movie files that the internet can actually handle now, because as we've discussed in the past, Flash is dead. Well, mostly dead. At any rate, she has been working very hard to get it ready, and I just wanted to give you an update that they are still on the way. There's a lot of work left to do, but I am confident now that the files exist. At least we should be able to make some more progress. Number 2 on our list of things to discuss. Last week, you may have watched the video and noted that I had a root canal. Well, after the video, I spoke with my aunt, who is a trained dental hygienist, and she was concerned that I was giving root canals a bad name. Okay, so let me just go ahead and let you know that it really wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't fun, but I would rank it maybe a 6 on the scale of misery. And the only reason it was as high as a 6 was because after I got the root canal done, it didn't really go well. So I had a lot of pain, and I went back on Monday and they ground something down, and that helped a little bit, but it was still painful. So then I went back Tuesday and they finished the root canal, and then I have to go back in a couple weeks so that they can put a crown on it and a post, whatever that is, and hopefully then it will be done. So the length of time that it's taking is what makes it up to a 6, but the actual experience itself really wasn't that bad. I once had a partial lung collapse, and I gotta say, if you have the option between a partial lung collapse and a root canal, I definitely recommend the root canal. So much easier, much more pleasant, ends quicker, you don't feel like you're dying, and you're never going to be able to breathe again. Anyway, definitely recommend it. And honestly, if you need something like that done, you might as well just go get it done, because it's better than putting it off, which we already talked about, so I'm not going to retread that ground. I wanted to come up with a beautiful transition between my teeth and what came next in our list of things to talk about, but I couldn't. So I'll just move on to point number 3. It's my birthday. Today I officially begin the final year of my 30s, which means that next year I will be graduating into an all-new category of adult human being. I hear really nice things about your 40s. Apparently you're more settled into your own skin, and there's plenty of opportunity to realize that everything you've ever known is wrong, and it's time to reevaluate everything. You buy a convertible probably. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I remember when 40 seemed monstrously old. Heck, I remember when 30 seemed monstrously old. And now, to be 30 again. So young. So few things hurt. Anyway, I'm getting kind of rambly in my old age, so let me get to the point. This is my guitar. Well, it's not actually my guitar, it's my wife's guitar. My guitar is that one, right there. You may have noticed it in previous videos. My guitar, well, it was the cheapest guitar I could possibly buy, and it broke. Probably because it was the cheapest possible guitar I could buy. I originally bought it just so that I could learn on it, and then I was going to upgrade at a later time. Well, now that that one's broken and my wife has started learning piano instead of the guitar, I think I've basically inherited this one, and that's okay with me because it's pretty nice. It's even an acoustic electric, but I don't have it plugged in right now. At any rate, I wanted to tell you a short story. When I was a kid, I took some guitar lessons. And the reason that I took guitar lessons was because I wanted to learn to play the radical tunes of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live on tour. Now, if you have never seen a bunch of mutant turtles use electric guitars to fight the nefarious forces of evil who are bent on taking over the world, well, you clearly didn't live in the 90s. It was a magical time, and you missed out. But at any rate, I took a few classes, and what I realized is it was very difficult. Playing the guitar, not easy, no. And so, at the time, I really wasn't big on things that were difficult, so I quit. Fast forward several decades later, and I decided to try again. And in my 30s, I picked up the guitar, and this time, my dreams went from being a mutant turtle related rock star to just being able to play a couple tunes well enough that I could sing along to and enjoy the experience. The good news is, in spite of the fact that I have not practiced nearly enough, I have now graduated to the level of being able to play a couple tunes and well enough so that I could sing along to them. So today I thought I would play The Gambler and we could sing along together for my birthday. The Gambler, I was never a big fan of the song. I didn't really know too much about the song, but it turns out it has 3 chords. And I knew all 3 chords, so it quickly became one of my favorite songs ever. It's amazing how necessity will do that to you. But I did want to mention one last thing before we jam out. After I learned to play the guitar mostly terribly, an interesting thing happened. A bunch of people said, "Wow, you're really great at playing the guitar," which is very interesting because I'm like, no, I'm really not, honest to goodness. But the fascinating thing is that people who have 0 skill at something think that when you have a tiny bit of skill at something, you're very good at it, some of the time at least. That's how I always felt. I would watch people who played the guitar and be like, how do you even do that? It's like magic. It's ridiculous. Well, those people probably weren't that great at playing the guitar either, but they certainly had fun at it, and they were better than me, so I thought that they were pretty great. The reason that I bring this up is because I wanted to remind everyone who maybe experience what is called imposter syndrome that you don't have to feel that way just because you know you're not very good at something. So if you take on something like the guitar or art or writing or sports or whatever it is, you don't have to be the best at it in the entire world for a lot of people to admire the skill you do have. And you shouldn't feel like an imposter just because you're not terrific at it yet. You can keep practicing and maybe you'll get terrific. Or maybe, like me, you'll just stay where you're at because you're happy there. Welcome to the 40s. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get on with the music. If you want to stop the video now because you don't really want to hear me sing, that's cool. You're not going to miss anything except an amazing song and probably a low-level performance by somebody who barely knows how to play the guitar. But I wish you well, and I hope that you have a good week. In the meantime, let's go. On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns to stare out the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us and he began to speak. He said, "Son, I made a life out of reading people's faces, knowing what the cards were by the way they held their eyes. So if you don't mind my saying, I can see you're out of aces. For a taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice." So I handed him my bottle, and he drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette and asked me for a light. Then the night got deathly quiet, and his face lost all expression. Said, "If you're gonna play the game, boy, you gotta learn to play it right. You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money while you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing is done." Well, every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep. And every hand's a winner, and every hand's a loser. And the best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. When he finished speaking, he turned back toward the window, crushed out his cigarette, and faded off to sleep. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. And in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. You gotta know when to hold 'em, told him, know when to walk away.